Okay guys, so it's same day, part 2 of my summer day video, and I'm about to make my protein smoothie. Now I usually have 2 boiled eggs with this. All right, so I'm gonna start off with a half a cup. I'm using a 1/4 cup measurement, so I'm gonna use 2. A half a cup of frozen edamame. Right, and a half a cup of frozen edamame is going to give me a whopping 7 grams of protein right off the bat. So that's good. No, you guys, if you guys know me, you know I like to put in my smoothie the fruits that I don't like to eat. This is guava, and this is the white one, and it ripens up like this. All right, I don't like to eat them because they're not as sweet as the ones that ripen up and are pink on the inside, but I know they're good for me, so I'm going to throw that in there. A piece of ginger. I had a golden kiwi here someplace. Oh, here we are. Now the golden kiwi, I have here the organic one. As you can see, it doesn't have a lot of hair on it, and a lot of fiber is in the kiwi skin. So 2 reasons why I buy the golden kiwi: it's sweeter and it doesn't have a lot of hair, and I want to eat the whole kiwi, right? I want all that fiber, so I'm going to throw a kiwi in there. As you might know, I don't like to chew pineapples either. Now this is a pre-packaged thing that I get at Aldi. You can move about, David. It has pineapple, avocado, and spinach. No, I don't do the spinach thing, so I take that out and put that in my compost. Right? I don't do spinach, but it's not going to waste. I'll either give it to the chickens or I'll put it in my garden. So here now I'm adding pineapples and avocado. So I'm getting a couple of servings of fruits right here. And typically I like to eat my fruits, but as you know, I'm blending the ones that I don't like. And so I'm adding some fruits, right? In a second, let me get a towel. You need some from over here, David? You all right? Okay. And so then I'm gonna add my flax seeds. I'm just gonna eyeball it. I'm trying to add like 2 tablespoons. 2 tablespoons of flax seeds is gonna give me 3 grams of protein. So now I'm up to what? Let's see. The edamame gave me a whopping 10 grams, and now I'm up to 3. So now I'm up to 13 grams of protein. Eyeballing it, 2 tablespoons of flaxseed. Right. That's about it. And remember, I'm having my 2 eggs, and 1 egg has about between 5 and 6 grams of protein. So let's see, 5 and 10, 15, and 3, 18. I'm already up to 18 grams of protein. I'm gonna add some pumpkin seeds. No, 1/4 cup of pumpkin seed is gonna give me, Alexa, a 1/4 cup of pumpkin seeds is gonna give me how much protein?
0.5 cups of pumpkin seeds has 5.9 grams of protein.
Okay, so now I'm up to 5 grams of protein. I mean, I'm adding 5 grams of protein, so now I'm up to what? 15, 5 from the pumpkin seeds, 10 from the edamame, 15, about 3 from the flax seeds, so 18. And what else did I put in there? I'm already meeting my goal of 20 grams of protein. Plus I have my eggs, and each egg is gonna give me, 1 egg is between 5 and 6 or 10. So I'm up to 30 grams of protein already with my smoothie. I'm just gonna add some almond. I prefer to add like 2 tablespoons of slivered almonds, and then when I add my water, that would be like almond milk. All right, so I'm not a big fan of the store-bought almond milk. not trying to knock anybody or any company or anything like that, but that's just me. Yeah, and I'm gonna add a teaspoon of spirulina, and that's it. Now I'm gonna drink this smoothie, and this is gonna take me up to lunchtime. Depending on what I'm doing, it may even take me up to lunch. All right, depends on what I'm doing. Okay, so I'm gonna add enough water, and I'm adding spring water here, just enough to cover what's in the blender. That's rule of thumb. All right, and then I'm gonna blend. I'm going to spare you the noise and pot. Now this is nice and thick, just the only way I want it to be. And I'm not gonna let anything waste. I'm gonna rinse this blender, and I'm gonna pour the washout into my garden. Can you see? Nice and thick. And I got about 2 servings of fruit in here. Protein. And it's delicious. And sweet. But if you want it sweeter than this, you can add some dates and whatnot. So while the children make their breakfast, I'm going to go outside and suck up some more of that sun and enjoy my smoothie. See you on the outside. And so guys, here I am on the outside sucking up some more sun and enjoying my smoothie. So delicious. And I have my eggs when I go back inside. And my day has started. It's just 8 o'clock. My day has started. The most important things for me have been done. And of course, you do what's most important for you, right? My clothes are on the line. Chickens are taken care of. My bathrooms are clean. I've had my morning worship. I'm just waiting now for the kids to finish breakfast, and then they'll clean up. While they're doing that, I'm trying to do other things around the house. It's summer, so we're not doing school today. Some days during the summertime we'll do school, you know, as chores permit, or errands or whatever. But yeah, you want to keep them, especially homeschooling, you want to keep them in the going, so that during the year, if you have to take time off or whatever, you still have enough time to do that, right? So the next time you see me today, I'm going to be in the kitchen, and I'm going to be doing the stew peas, and I'm going to be doing it early so that it has a couple of hours to cook in the slow cooker while we're doing other things. And if it was a day where I didn't rest well while that's cooking in the slow cooker, I could be resting, right? My eldest, he's, thank God, able to yeah, thank God, he's able to help me out now, so he'll take care of the veggies. I'm gonna be serving up oven roasted veggies with the stew peas, and the reason for that is because we're trying to figure out a way to eat more beans without adding carbs to our plate, right? If that makes sense. So if we can eat, let's see, half a cup of beans, yeah, I'm not sure what a half a cup of beans, how much protein it has in there. But if we're having high protein breakfast in the morning, and then for lunch we have a moderate amount of protein, and then for Mumbai, as we call it, another moderate amount, we should be set. Should be set. Yeah, so we're trying to incorporate more beans, different kind of beans. Another beans that I just introduced into our diet that we love a lot is Acre. It's called ACRE. It's spelled that way, and it's native to the south here, and you know, this is the time of year that it's in abundance. So we tried it and we like it. And what we do, we make a gumbo with okra, and it's delicious. So one day I'll make that for you as well. So yeah, so we serve vegetables, oven roasted vegetables preferably, or steamed, right? Oh, that sound feels so good. And so we eat that with half a cup of beans. Whatever beans has the highest amount of protein, then we do that. And we don't have to worry about having it with rice or anything else, because there's enough carbs in the bean itself, right? And if let's say, you know, we didn't have the protein, then we can have a couple of eggs with it or so. And that's the way we do it. I'm not trying to encourage anybody to eat eggs who don't eat eggs. All right, guys, you'll figure out your thing. But for those of us who eat eggs, yeah, you can have a couple of eggs with it and up your protein. And that's just one way of doing it. Yeah, that we're trying out and seeing how that works. So we're up to 4 minutes, and it's just so nice out here, guys. I wish everybody had the opportunity to do this, but one day, right? So I'm gonna sit out here a little bit more. I don't think there's anything I can show you in the garden that's going right now. Pretty much what we have are some pumpkins that we're waiting on. I have a couple of melons. Maybe I could show you those melons that were they volunteered themselves, and they're doing pretty good. The first one we had to give to the chickens. In this video I'll insert that clip where we had to give it to the chickens, because all the rain that we were having last week, the underneath was sitting in water, and I didn't even notice it, and so it started to rot. And yeah, so the very first one we had to give to the chickens. But the weird thing about this one is, I'm going to show you in a second. Yeah, I can show you that. But that's pretty much what we have going on here. We have herbs and callaloo, and still waiting on some tomatoes that were babies that are growing to see if they'll put out anything. The weather this year was just really stressful on the tomatoes. I didn't get a whole lot. Everything I got, I just had to freeze and eat some. But you know, typically every year we have tomatoes in abundance that we have to give away and so on. But we just had enough for ourselves this year, enough to put on the freezer, you know, and to eat and so on. And what else? That's about it. And sweet potatoes we're waiting on in the fall, and nothing else going on. In a couple of weeks we're gonna be cleaning out the beds to prepare for fall gardening, God's willing. The girls are quiet looking at me because they're like, she doesn't usually talk so much when she's out here. Anyway, let me show you the strange thing about this melon, this cantaloupe. All right, guys, so here's the vine. This is one vine, all right, and look at the two variety of cantaloupes that's on here. Here's one. This one is almost ready. I'm keeping a close eye on this one. And then look at this one. This one has ridges. You see? It has ridges. And this one doesn't. I don't know what's going on. Had a little one here, but that didn't make it. Alright, guys, so see you in a little bit when I start to prep my stew peas. Okay, guys, so we're back in the kitchen mint, and we're gonna make some coconut milk, right? I had this piece of coconut on my freezer. I'm gonna make that for our stew peas. And it's now 8:49 a.m. and so I have my coconut in there. Now I'm gonna blend this coconut until it liquefies, right? Because I want to put it in my stew peas, and then I'm gonna put everything in there that I would like to have blended, like my rosemary, right? I have some dried rosemary. I'm gonna put that in there too. Because I want to blend everything out. And you can use, if what you have is coconut milk in the can, of course you can use that. But I'm just paranoid. All right, we're gonna blend, so I'm gonna, hoping not the noise isn't too much. And I blend for maybe a total of 3 minutes, stopping at every 1 minute, right? And here is my slow cooker. Now in my slow cooker I have 7 cups of kidney beans that have been soaked in hot water from my previous video. Remember, this is part 2, same day. All right, and now I have my strainer. I'm going to, now I blended this so it could, I blended so it could be as fine as possible. And I'm covering everything in there. No, I could put this fiber in there, you know, and I'm really tempted to, but I'm just gonna put a little bit of it. Just a little bit. And plus the beans have a lot of fiber, but typically I don't take my fiber out of anything. But as you can see, a little bit of the fiber is in there. I'll show you with my finger. Went through the strainer because it's blended so well, right? And you can see how fine the strainer is. So that's good. So I'll save the rest of this for something else. Nothing goes to waste, right? And then to this now, I'm going to add a bunch of stuff. I find that when I cook the stew peas in the slow cooker, it's more tastier. And then when I do this, much I do here, I just leave it and for a couple of hours. And everything will be all right when I'm done. I'll be able to see inside of it. All right, so now, first thing I'm going to add is 2 tablespoons of peanut butter. What? Yes, child, peanut butter. You won't even taste the peanut butter. This is going to help to thicken up things. You know, typically if you're cooking it on the stove top, you know, you'd have an opportunity to go in and stir the peas and stir, crushing out some of them to thicken up the stew peas, but you won't have that opportunity to go in and stir. Well, you can if you want to, but the whole point is to leave it so it can cook, so you can get on with your day. And plus you're adding a nice amount of protein here as well, right? You won't even taste the coconut. You can use almond butter if you want to. You can put the coconut, the peanut itself, the nut itself in here if you want to, and you don't have to stir it out, right? It's gonna be melted, and at the end of it, when you give it one good stir, it's gonna be stirred up. Okay, so now we're gonna add all the goodness. We're gonna grind some black cumin seed, right? And this is probably a half a teaspoon, not too much because it's very strong, right? Black cumin seed. And guys, this is so flavorful. Folks have been cooking with it for years, especially in India. They cook with it a lot there. Just the rest of the world is just finding out how good black seed oil and stuff is good for you, but they've been cooking with it for a while. All right, and now I'm going to add let's see how much this is. 3, 6, 7, 8 cloves of garlic, and a piece of dried oregano, right? Piece of fresh holy basil, or if you have it dried, that's fine. And piece of dried oregano. Look at the flour on this, guys. So pretty. Flour and everything going in. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna break it off because I have a piece of dried piece in there already. I'm just gonna put this in there. Flour and everything going right in. And then a nice bunch of thyme. Right? Nice bunch of thyme. Make sure I submerge everything. Right? Then, excuse me, I'm gonna put maybe a half a teaspoon of biryani, masala biryani. It just gives it a nice flavor, especially if you like Indian food. And then I'm gonna put half a teaspoon of cinnamon. What? Cinnamon in stew peas? Yes, girl. Half a teaspoon of Ceylon cinnamon going in. And what else are we forgetting? Okay, salt and organic adobo. Now, this organic adobo is just a bunch of herbs, excuse me, and it has no salt. So you can add liberally as you like. Sometimes I cook the whole thing and then I'll season at the end. But today I just want to leave this thing and just literally come back to serve from it. Right? And a little bit of pink salt. Approximately a teaspoon. Start with a teaspoon. Because with kidney beans, you have to really have salt on it to bring out the flavor, right? So start with a half a teaspoon. And then some scallion. Now, the scallion and the thyme, you can wait until your last 20 minutes of cooking to put it in. But who wants to wait around and time anything? This is the whole point. You just want to leave this so it cooks up and it's ready for me when I'm ready to serve it. And as you can see, I only have enough liquid. I only have enough liquid to cover the top, right? Because this thing, it cooks really well without a lot of the water being, you know, when you're cooking it on the stove top, a lot of the water gets, what did you say? Reduced, right? But it's not gonna, because it's gonna be slowly cooking, it's not gonna reduce too much. I think I have everything in here. All right, so I'm gonna cover her. And what time did I say it is now? It's 8:58 a.m. I'm gonna give it a good, let's see, give her a good 5 hours on low, and this thing will be nice and yummy. The beans will still be intact, flavorful and everything. And when it's all done, you drizzle it with a little bit of olive oil. What should I say, 4 hours? Let's do 5. Let's see, 9 to 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, yeah, 2 o'clock. Let's do 5 hours. All right, and off she goes. Okay, guys, so in my mind, dinner is already ready, right? And it's just 9 a.m. My greens are done. This is already done in my mind. And the only thing I have left to do is the oven roasted veggies with my eldest, which my eldest is going to do for me. And so I have the rest of the day to do as I deem necessary. And it reduces anxiety. And that way I have time to kind of nurse myself and help to heal and maintain my central nervous system. And what else did I have to share? And these are some of the things that happens to you guys. You're on camera and you forget what you have to say, what you wanted to say. Girl, as simple as this is, I forgot one ingredient. And as simple as it is, it's very important and plays a big role in the flavor profile of this dish, pesto. I'm gonna put it in right now. All right, so I make pesto ahead of time and put it in these little cubes and store it on the freezer. And I'm gonna add just 1 cube because I really make them concentrated, or I make them really concentrated. So 1 cube is good enough. Pesto in this, oh my goodness. Guys, yeah, that kicks it up a notch, and I almost forgot. So while dinner's cooking, we're gonna touch the road a little bit and get some errands done. All right, see you at dinner time. Okay guys, so now we're gonna put in our veggies. So here I have cauliflower, broccoli, and carrots, right? And I'm gonna put a little bit of salt on. You'll salt according to your taste, and maybe this is probably a teaspoon of salt altogether. And I'm gonna put maybe 2 tablespoons, or this is probably a half a cup, so maybe a quarter of a cup of water on the bottom, so it's gonna steam. And this is the process I'm using because of the size oven that I'm using. My vegetables aren't able to go out on a sheet pan. I have a smaller oven here that I'm gonna use. I could use a bigger oven, but yeah. So I'm just gonna, kind of stir everything around a little bit. Should have probably seasoned before I put it in the pan here, but it will still get distributed. And then I'm gonna drizzle with a little bit of oil. Okay. Drizzle with a little bit of olive oil. Now you could also cook it and then you drizzle, but I'm gonna drizzle with a little bit before and a little bit after. That much before. The oil just seems to lock in the flavor for some reason, so I'm putting in a little bit before and then a little bit after. Okay. Now you can cover this if you want to, but you don't have to. But I am going to do that, and this pot cover fits perfectly over it that way, but because it has the handle, it's not going to fit, so I just do that and cover it. You can also use foil paper if you want to, but I'm choosing not to use foil paper today. I'm gonna put it in here and I'm gonna have it steam for about 40 minutes and then we'll be right back. And here we go over here with our stew peas. That's all done after 5 hours. As you can see, it's nice and thick. Nice and thick. Oh, the smell. Guys, if you don't have any ingredients, of all the ingredients that I put in here, if you don't have garlic, scallion, thyme, and coconut milk, you won't get the same results. Everything else is optional, right? But to get the result that I'm talking about here, you have to put those things in there: scallion, thyme, coconut milk, and garlic. Those ingredients just enhance the flavor of the beans on a different level. So I'm just fishing out the scallion and thyme and everything else. And as you can see, the beans are still intact. That's the reason why I like this method, even though they're super soft, right? And it's ready to be served. Ready to be served with that. Okay guys, so we're at 40 minutes, just about. I'm just gonna go ahead and turn it off. Excuse me. And we are gonna check on our veggies. I can tell by the smell that it's done. That's good. And all we're gonna do now is drizzle with a little bit more oil, but let's just double check, make sure that everything is all done. Double check, triple check. Okay. So I really don't even have to double check. You can tell that everything is done. So I'm going to drizzle a little bit more oil over. I'm almost out to get another bottle. I'll drizzle the remainder of what's there. Okay. Alright, so I'm going to take a little bit from this plate. Put in this plate here. This is actually my plate. Get some of those carrots. The sweetness. Alright. Leave that for the tribe. And then remember the greens that I made this morning. Here they are. Not sure if you can see them. Right, it's just low and colored greens cooked together in the Instant Pot. I'm gonna get a little bit of that. We love our greens around here. All right, and I'll leave that for the tribe. Then I'll head on over to the featured dish, stew peas, and I'm gonna get about a cup of that. Good amount. I have my protein here and my carbs. And you want to make sure you cover this thing, guys, because it gets thick really easily. It cools up real fast, especially if everybody is kind of. So here's my plate, you guys. I know it looks really big, but it's not that big. It's not that big. And so I'm just going to drizzle a tiny bit more of olive oil on there. You'd be surprised to see how this olive oil makes a difference with the texture. And until the next time, guys, I hope this video was informative, enjoyable, and I hope you make it and you find it as delicious as we find it to be.